What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out the channel. So we're going to be talking Ninja Gaiden. I have recently rolled credits on all the different variations of the series here. There's only 4 games in the series, but there are 9 separate games that you actually have available to play. So I'm going to kind of give you what I think is the definitive way to go through 1, 2, 3, and then get yourself to 4. And I will also put 4 in the tier list because I beat that as well. So basically, I wanted to go through all the 3D versions with a fresh playthrough of all of them to give people just an overall feel for how they are in 2025. Now, when it comes to Ninja Gaiden, in my own personal history with the game, it is literally the 3rd game that I ever played. So I started on the NES. The first 2 games that I can remember in my head that I played before Ninja Gaiden was Roger Rabbit, Super Dodgeball, and then I played Ninja Gaiden, guys. So my uncle had an NES. It got passed down to me. He honestly had, like, it was one of the best systems that I ever personally had because I had so many games for it. It was kind of crazy. You know, because it was my uncle. He was older, and he had a job. He was buying a bunch of games, and then he just lost interest and passed it down to me. But the first 3 games that I ever played out of all the ones he gave me were those 3 right there. And, you know, Roger Rabbit, honestly, was one of my favorite games. And then Ninja Gaiden was up there as well. So I just wanted to make this tier list. It does mean a lot to me, but I'm not, like, overly obsessed with it. So I don't think I have, like, strong personal attachments to any of these games. But it has literally followed me throughout my gaming history. And then with Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out, it did bring back some nostalgia. I wanted to go back, play these games, and then give people an idea of what I think about them here in 2025. So we are only talking about the 3D versions because I don't think it's right to even compare the 2D versions to them. I think they should be separate in kind of their own type of tier list there. So we're going to get into the platforms that you can really play these on, because depending on your platforms, guys, it's really going to determine how you can play these games if you cannot emulate them. So basically, if you're not willing to emulate these games, or you can't emulate them, or you do not have an Xbox, the Master Collection is honestly your best bet, 100%. You're going to have this for PlayStation, Steam, and Nintendo Switch. It is out for Xbox, but Xbox can literally play Ninja Gaiden any way they want. They have available like every single game. But for the PlayStation, Steam, and Nintendo Switch, Master Collection is your best way to get through 1, 2, and 3. And if you catch them on sale for $20, that is a steal of a deal. Now, I don't think this is the definitive way to play this series, but if it's your only option, I don't think it is a bad way to play the series either. So we're going to get into the much more convoluted way of trying to play this series. And if you're trying to play all the different variations from yourself, you can kind of see what you're going to have to go through and how you can do it before we get into our tier list here. So first up, 2004. This is when the original Ninja Gaiden for Xbox dropped, console exclusive, and it is only on the disc. So if you do not own this disc, or you're not willing to buy it, you are not going to be able to play this version of the game, or you can emulate it, of course. But yeah, this game was hard. I had to emulate this game. I could not find I didn't want to buy the disc of this game because I'm not sure. I think it actually is backwards compatible, guys, if you have the disc with the Xbox Series, but it is not on the digital storefront. And then our 2005. Now remember, all these 3 games you're looking at, this is all number 1, okay? These are just different variations dropping for different platforms. They tweak some gameplay stuff here and here. They change little story points here and there. So, you know, there are differences as well in these games. And, you know, Ninja Gaiden Black was supposed to be the definitive version of Ninja Gaiden. They did try to hit 60 frames, but it did have dips in it as well. So if you get this, I would recommend getting it backwards compatible. It is upgraded, it is digitally available, and it is $9.99. So that is a fantastic price on the Xbox. They showed this a lot of love in the backwards compatible compartment, guys. It runs really nice. And when you see the cutscenes, you'll see how much they really touched up a lot of the actual gameplay there. And then moving to 2007, this was the PlayStation 3 release. This is going to come in that Master Collection that we talked about. So that is probably the best way to play this version of the game right now. But if you want to play it more in its original form, you will need the disc and a PlayStation 3 because it's not backwards compatible. Or you can stream it with a PlayStation Premium, which it's not a great experience, but it's okay. Honestly, you can get away with it it does actually perform better than I thought it would. But moving on to Ninja Gaiden 2. Now, these are all different variants of the same game, Ninja Gaiden 2, with, like I mentioned before, certain things in the game will be changed from little bits of the story, adding bits of story, or in the actual gameplay itself. And in this one, mostly the number of enemies and just the quickness to delim is the main issue with a lot of these games here. So we have 2008 version. This is the original Xbox 360 release. It is backwards compatible and it is digitally available. So that is $30, and I really never see this version of the game go on sale. So this is the definitive way to play this game, guys, is backwards compat. Even if you have the original disc for this on Xbox 360, it is not going to be a great experience. There are a ton of slowdowns in this game, probably the worst in the entire series, even after the patches they made. Anything over, like right when you get to like Mentor or something like that, this game is going to really, really start bogging down. And, you know, it's just too much for that system to handle. So backwards compat, anything from the Xbox One X up is going to run this game really good. And then when it's coming to our next release in the Ninja Gaiden 2 is going to be Sigma 2. This one made major changes, way more than Sigma 1. And today's platforms is going to be obviously the Master Collection that we talked about earlier, or this is also streaming on PlayStation Plus or whatever their premium, I think it's called. And then we have our 2025 version that just dropped this year, which Tecmo themselves are considering the definitive version of Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. And that is going to be available on Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam. So you can just basically get that anywhere. And when we're moving into our last two games in the series here, you will be able to play your Ninja Gaiden 3 in its original form on PlayStation. They have that game streaming right now. And then that is the only place I could find it unless you have the original disc, which, guys, I wouldn't recommend going through it, but you know what I'm saying? That is up to you. And then you have Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, which came out just months later because of the backlash that Ninja Gaiden 3 received. It was actually, I think it was a Wii U exclusive for like a month or two, but Xbox backwards compatible, and PlayStation as well, but it is in the Master Collection. So if you are looking to pick up Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, it only makes sense to pick up the Master Collection, guys, because it's just going to give you Razor's Edge in probably a better state, and then on top of that, it's going to give you just 2 free games in Sigma 1 and 2 for either $10 more or $10 less, because the game is $40 for the Master Collection when it's not on sale, and then you could actually get it for $20 on sale. So that is, I would not buy Razor's Edge, I would just buy the Master Collection. And then 2025, our new release here, which just came out, what, in the last 3 weeks to a month here, is going to be Ninja Gaiden 4. All right, so those are the best ways and really the only ways that you can play a lot of this game. Like I said, very convoluted and tied to certain platforms for sure. And it's very obvious Xbox has the best way to play Ninja Gaiden. Like, you can literally play every single version on an Xbox. So other than that, though, if you're stuck on certain platforms, guys, I still don't think this is a bad way to play the game, and definitely for $20, it is 100% worth it. So let's get straight into our tier list. All right, now that we got all that out of the way and you know where you can pick up all of these different games, let's get straight into our tier list here. So when we are talking time-wise, guys, if you're looking to play every single one of these games that you're seeing here, it is about 150 hours on the low end is what it's going to take somebody to go through the whole series. So that's kind of why I wanted to put this tier list together. And then by the end of this, you're really going to have a good idea of, okay, I can skip this, I should play this, and just overall different things like that, because that's a huge time commitment. Definitely if you're just trying to get to the fourth one and you want to experience everything in the series here. So let's go into just, this is honestly, guys, right here, this is a skip. I think you guys can straight skip Ninja Gaiden 3, even Razor's Edge. For one thing, if you don't see the story, you're going to be better off for it. Like, they literally messed up the story that bad. On top of that, when they first released this right here, Ninja Gaiden 3, it was just littered with QTEs, which remained in the game even after Razor's Edge. And then the boss fights obviously remained in the game. Horrible. So Razor's Edge was really just a band-aid on a gunshot wound, because they went way too mainstream with number 3 and really messed with the difficulty and made it too easy. So when they went to Razor's Edge, it was, they just made everything almost impossible when it comes to the boss fights, definitely on higher difficulties. And like I said, it came out months, guys, so that tells you something after the original 3 here. So just, I think it's a hard skip. If you do want to experience it, definitely experience Razor's Edge over the 3rd one. And like I said, I don't even think the story is worth seeing at all. So that's why I'm saying hard skip on 3, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. It's a C tier only because I'm comparing it to the other 2 games that are possible for you to play Ninja Gaiden 2. You know, you got the original, and then you got Black, and then we got Sigma 2. So for this one right here, it is a whole tier, I think, under the other options that you have. There's no blood. The upgrade system is pretty bad, guys. I don't think I upgraded like my last upgrade on my weapon until like chapter 11. So that's telling you that you just don't get much of the game even with a fully upgradable weapon, when in all the other versions of the game in the series, you can basically upgrade as you please and pick and choose which weapons you want to upgrade. So that one, I really didn't like that. What'd I say? No blood. Oh, and then the chapters, the added chapters, definitely in Sigma 2 felt they felt horrible to play to me. I didn't like how the characters played at all. I don't want to spoil anything, but I did not like how they played. So Black 2 is the version that you're going to go with if you can't play this original, because Black 2 is just a reskin of Sigma, guys. I'm not going to lie, but it feels so much better. They fixed the upgrade system. The D-Lim is a bit better, and then also they added the blood back in and different things like that. And then obviously it looks gorgeous, but even like graphics aside, guys, like even if they had the same exact graphics, Black 2 is much better than Sigma 2, I'm telling you. So definitely pick that one up if you can't play the OG right here. I do find Ninja Gaiden 2 to be the best version of the game. I do think Itagaki's vision probably got or was best portrayed in this, and that's the whole game was his vision. So that's why this is going to be the best. Rest in peace to the man. Thanks for the bangers. But Ninja Gaiden 2, Xbox One X or above. I wouldn't really play this on the Xbox 360 in its original form, or you can emulate it, of course, but I wouldn't play it in its original form because it slows down a lot, guys. Even after every single patch that came out for this game, definitely if you're on an original Xbox 360, it has some problems with the frames for sure. So I do think that is the best way you can play number 2. But Black it's not that bad. You might hear a lot of people hating on Black, guys, but I'm telling you, Black is still a lot of fun. Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is still a lot of fun. So the 4th game right here, I think I liked Black 2 a little better, but the 4th game, it is still hitting B tier for me. I enjoyed it more than Sigma 2. You know, that could just be me, but for me, this had some of the best bosses of all of the games in the series. So that's important for me. The structure of the bosses in 4 were the best. There are some annoying ones. Of course, there's always going to be some annoying bosses, but most of them were structured really good, and you didn't feel ripped off. You just felt like either you weren't fast enough, your reactions were off, and things like that. So that's why I really enjoyed 4. What it's holding it back and why it's just B tier and not like getting up to like the 2 and 2 Black here is level design was bad. It was it's not like it's bad, it's just not good. It's just very average and just thrown together. And then all of the on-rail stuff should have been completely eliminated from the game, and it would have been a lot better for it. A lot of people are going to complain about Ryu not being in the game. For me, he's in the game, guys, obviously, but you only play 4 chapters with him in the actual campaign. Outside of that, you can play through all the content with him. But, for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. I liked the new character. I didn't mind it. As long as they can keep pushing the story, and maybe they didn't have anything good enough that they thought they could write for Ryu, so they threw this guy in there, or it was because Platinum took the reins, so they didn't want to give them a full Ryu game and things like that. So I'm not hating on it, and Ninja Gaiden 4, I do think it is a play in the series for sure, and most people should try it out. And then our OGs here, guys, when it comes to the original Ninja Gaidens, I was not sure if I would feel this way after all these years, but after just going through these, they are the best, and I think they should have followed the formula that they first created with Ninja Gaiden Black, and the original Sigma here. I think the series would be more popular today, and I think it would have just been much better. So the difference when you're talking about the first Ninja Gaiden game compared to the second one is it is a much more slower paced, much more defensive oriented when you're talking about the actual combat. On top of that, there's a lot of traversal through maps. You're actually getting maps, going back through, finding keys, opening doors, and there is just a lot to the game that I really enjoyed and that I wish they would have took on into the future, because you already know a game like this, how it looks back then and just how it played, just what it really could have turned into, pushing into like the 2010s and things like that. I think it could have been something special if Ninja Gaiden would have followed their original formula. And I'm not going to lie, guys, like all my boys that I ran with that liked this original right here, they did not like Ninja Gaiden 2 when it came out. For me, I'm a hack and slash fan, so it was a lot easier for me to digest. I like both, but I miss the charm and I miss what I think Ninja Gaiden could have been if they followed this original formula. I don't really hear people talking about that much. Like a lot of people who played that first game, I'm telling you guys, like, you know, I was there, so I seen it. They did not like Ninja Gaiden 2. It was a completely different game, and it completely changed the entire series. So hack and slash fans will definitely like Ninja Gaiden 2 and, you know, later on better. And I think like more like a Dark Souls type of person is going to definitely like Ninja Gaiden, the original, to where it was much more methodical, more defense. I'm not saying it's a Souls-like game, because it's not. It's not all about parry and blocking. There still is a lot of offense. But what this game did for me was it gave me the best balance almost that I've ever felt in the game between defense and offense. So that's why I really enjoyed it. But let me know what you guys think. Your tier list in the comments. And for my definitive way to play Ninja Gaiden in 2025, you got to play the first version however you can play it. So it's probably going to be either Black or Sigma for you. Go through that. You're going to want to play this original Ninja Gaiden 2 if you have the option. Then you're going to want to go Black 2, and then you're going to want to go straight to Ninja Gaiden 4. So it's still going to be 4 games, and you're still going to play 2 twice. Because when you play Black, you're going to get a little bit of that feel for what Sigma was, and then you will gain some extra elements into the story and things like that. And just after playing Ninja Gaiden 2 and going into Black, just seeing the updated visuals is a very nice touch as well. So for me, if I'm coming back in about 4 or 5 years, if I'm coming back when Ninja Gaiden 5 comes out, this is the order I'm going to play. I'm going to go Black, I'm going to go Ninja Gaiden 2, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, and then Ninja Gaiden 4, and then I'm going to dip right into the 5th one and rip through that whenever that day comes. So yeah, hopefully this helps, so you can, you know, not waste so much time trying to figure out what to play and what to go through. And let me know in the comments what you guys felt when Ninja Gaiden 2 came out and how you compared it to the original. So, like I said, a lot of people that I knew really didn't like it, but for me, I'm a hack and slash fan, so I'm a big fan of both of the games and all the games in this series, honestly, besides 3. 3 was absolutely horrid. So, thanks for checking out the video, guys. I've been here way too long, so I will catch you on the next one.